Coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine, an athlete isn't so much defined by their victories, but how they overcome adversity. We'll learn of one such cross-country student athlete and the challenge he faced. Also, we'll learn how playing piano has helped this athlete's golf game. Both piano and golf require a lot of practice to be above par. Then this senior's love for tennis drives him to play through the pain in order to make this year his best. We'll take a look at another Hall of Fame great, Sammy Smith, the sensational running back from Apopka, Florida, who made his mark with the Seminoles back in the mid-'80s. These stories and more coming up on Seminole Sports Magazine. Hello everybody, I'm Rob Wilson. First up, sophomore Zach Seddon had an explosive first season at FSU, winning the steeplechase title at the ACC Championship and then qualifying for the NCAA. He entered the national championship meet with the third fastest steeplechase time in the nation, but an unfortunate mistake cost him a chance to qualify for the finals. After winning the European Junior Steeplechase title over the summer, Seddon has been on making up some ground in 2013. Here's Martha Jaimez with a look at Zach Seddon's road to redemption.
Zach Seddon isn't a typical runner. As a freshman at FSU, Zach hit the ground running with a passion to be the best. From the moment he arrived at FSU, he knew what he wanted to accomplish.
That season I had big aims. I was hoping to finish high at NCAAs on the track and win ACCs.
Little did he know that's exactly what he was about to do. Zach won the steeplechase title at the ACC Championship, and he also posted the third fastest time in FSU history at the Peyton Jordan Invitational.
That was pretty special. It was a big personal best, so I was happy to do that. It was during the race, it was hard, but no, when I finished and everyone was happy, I mean, it was really good to me.
His time was ranked as the second highest in Division I heading into the postseason, which qualified him for the NCAA championship.
I mean, I hadn't been beaten all year in the steeplechase by a collegiate athlete because they're from the other region. So I was kind of confident, but I was nervous. Like, there were the guys hanging up against, and I knew it was going to be big competition, but I was confident.
Zach was among 3 other national class runners at the NCAA championship. He was confident and thought nothing could keep him from winning.
When I started, it was a fast start, and there was 3 of us. And then we went to 2K, I was running till 2K. So I started to just run easy, look around and stuff.
He was comfortable the entire race like he always is, and you know, he has one of the best water jumps in the country in my opinion, and he took his eye off of it, and yeah, you know the rest. So
the freshman was too comfortable in the steeplechase. One stumble, one slip can be the difference between a first place finish and an agonizing defeat.
So I jumped up, I slipped, and I fell. All I remember is I realized I was gonna fall, like just as it happened, and I thought, is this really me that's gonna fall, you know? Because I see people do it and I just didn't think I'd do it.
And I saw him hit and fall, and all I did was just start screaming, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, because we had, you know, basically 2 laps to go, and he was good enough to take a fall like that, get up and still qualify for the final. But you look back on it and you see how hard a fall it was. I mean, he was completely underwater, face down, hit his head. We were really lucky he didn't have a concussion. So he came out, had no momentum, and just wasn't able to pull it off.
Got back up, and the last 2 laps were pretty hard, to be honest. And then, yeah, I was pretty sad the rest of the way. Yeah, I didn't qualify.
But Zach didn't let his slip-up keep him down. The freshman picked himself up and prepared to make a comeback.
I mean, I wasn't going to stop, but took a couple of days off. Just, you know, I wanted to get back running. So, you know, the sooner I do well in something else, the sooner I forget about it. So that was good for me. And I had European juniors, so just turned all my focus to that.
Zach was given another opportunity to prove himself, and that's exactly what he did. Over the summer, Zach won the steeplechase title at the European Junior Championship.
That was awesome, you know. It was, after the Nationals, I needed to win, so.
This victory not only gave Zach back his confidence, but it gave him strength and courage to come back this season with new hopes and goals.
My ultimate goal would be an All-American on the cross country. I feel if I get everything right, training right, racing right, you know, I can hit that. Also, my goals are for the team to do well. I really want my team to do well, and I believe we can.
Because of his maturity, dedication, and love for the sport, Coach Brayman selecting him as one of the team captains this season.
I was proud, man. I like the team. It was really good this year. So yeah, I like being their captain.
He's very personable. The guys in the team like him a lot. So, and he does everything right. Straight kid, you know, gets his rest. He's in the treatment room, you know, twice a day. Really dedicated, and that, above all else, sets the example for the younger guys who are now a year younger than he is.
Brings a really good positive attitude to practice, and I mean that's why he's one of our captains. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and the guy's just full of life.
The heart of a champion isn't always defined by stats and trophies. Instead, it's defined by how one deals with adversity. Zach didn't let his mishap define him. Instead, he staged a comeback. I'm Martha Jaimes for Seminole Sports Magazine.
When we come back, we'll find out how one student athlete uses her musical talent to enhance her golfing skills. Also, we've got another Florida State Hall of Fame great that was a star on a national level in 2 sports as a Seminole.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste and 0 calories.
The Florida State women's golf team prides themselves on having a diverse and talented group of young women. Take a look as Cole Robertson shows us how one player uses her musical talents to sharpen her skills on the green.
Golf is a game of precision. To perform at a high level, every swing must have intention, focus, and drive. You have to know where the ball will land before it even leaves the ground. Every tee-off, downswing, and putt carries a tune. And when technique and a little luck is combined, those tunes become a song. FSU junior Alex Milan knows just which notes to hit to make a beautiful medley, both on and off the green.
I really love music, I always have, and I actually do enjoy classical music quite a bit, and so I just really like being able to sit down and look at a sheet of music and know that if I work at it, I can play it.
Milan's love for music runs deep. Many generations of her family have been involved in it.
Well, my great-grandfather taught piano and organ, and then my grandmother was studying to be a concert pianist at the Ohio State Conservatory, and my mom played for 10 years, and so when I was younger, I just kind of got thrown in with everyone else into the piano lesson.
And it's a good thing she did. In a recent study by McGill University, they found that one of the benefits of playing the piano is that it causes a significant increase in a person's hand-eye coordination.
Any sport requires a great deal of patience and hard work, and as does playing any instrument. You know, playing piano, you have to practice the same 2 measures over and over and over until you get it right, and it's a lot like sitting there and practicing a 5-footer. It can be really boring and really tedious, but you know, if you put enough time into it, eventually you'll get it right.
And Milan has gotten it right. She finished her spring season with huge improvements after playing a key role in leading the Noles into the NCAA tournament. She also achieved a career best for her lowest 36-hole score, a 72 and 74, coming out with a 146 combined total. But with each stroke, Milan plays to become better than before, and she and the team have their eyes set on a bigger goal this year.
We want to go to NCAAs this year. We're hosting regionals. We want to be there. We want to make it out on our home course, and we're excited.
With only one more year ahead of her, Milan took a moment to reflect on her journey at Florida State.
My experience at Florida State has been great. You know, I came on my recruiting visit and I fell in love with campus and the coaches and my teammates, and it's pretty much stayed that way, so it's been really fun. I mean, I would love to leave behind, you know, great sportsmanship, a good leader on the course and off the course, and hopefully that I made positive contributions to the university.
As Milan finishes up this season and prepares for the next, she knows the secret to success in golf is the same as playing the piano. Preparation is key and repetition is a must, and Milan is putting in the effort to sharpen her skills on the green. With every note, with every chord, and with every melody Milan plays, she becomes closer to understanding how her swing is a song, and when played just right, it becomes a beautiful thing. I'm Cole Robertson for Seminole Sports Magazine.
The Lady Noles will be hosting NCAA regionals this year, and Alex and the team are working hard in hopes of earning the right to play right here at home. When we return to Seminole Sports Magazine, we'll hear of another Seminole athlete that doesn't give up when he's down. Senior Blake Davis has uncommon love and passion for a sport that allow him to fight through pain just to compete. Welcome back to Seminole Sports Magazine. Now it's time to review scores and highlights from recent FSU athletic events. Here's Taylor Duran to catch you up with all the latest in Seminole athletics.
Hey there, Seminole Nation. I'm Taylor Duran with a look at the latest in Florida State athletics. The Noles silenced Death Valley in front of nearly 84,000 fans last weekend after a 51-14 upset to Clemson. Freshman Jameis Winston led the team, throwing 444 yards and 3 touchdown passes. His first throw was a 22-yard pass to wide receiver Kelvin Benjamin after FSU recovered a fumble just minutes into the game. This wasn't the only fumble the Noles took advantage of. The second of 4 turnovers led to another touchdown for the Noles after Mario Edwards Jr. returned it 37 yards, putting the score ahead 17-0. There was no stopping the Noles in the second quarter as wide receiver Rashad Green ran an incredible 72 yards for another Seminole touchdown. With a field goal from kicker Roberto Aguayo, the game ended 51-14, boosting the Seminoles to second in the BCS standing. Another top-ranked Noles team also swept the field last weekend. The women's soccer team took on the Maryland Terps. Freshman Berglund Thorvaldsdottir scored the first goal in the 7th minute with a low-lining shot inside the right post for her 7th goal this season. The two teams pushed forward until the 63rd minute when Michaela Hahn passed the ball to number 7, Dagny Brynjonsdottir, for the second goal. Maryland scored in the 88th minute, and the game ended with FSU winning 2-1, leaving the Lady Noles undefeated. In the words of famous Seamus, Florida State is bringing the swag back with athletics. I'm Taylor Duran, and that's your Seminole Update.
When it comes to giving up, athletes are some of the first to tell you that's not an option. It takes strength, determination, and the love of the sport to make it through the hard times. Aaron Lish tells us how senior Blake Davis's love of the game and strength of character helped him through struggles and injuries.
Looking at the court knowing this is where you belong, knowing this is your passion, knowing you may have to give it all up. Florida State's tenacious tennis player, Blake Davis, wants to win. Last spring, Blake went 20-5 and defeated number 1 Virginia with doubles partner Dominic Catrone. The only senior on this year's team, Blake is stepping up his game. He's ready to help lead the team both on and off the court.
You get a little more responsibility than the previous years, so it's been fun so far.
When we all go through situations in the team that we need some advice, he's the one he's probably been through the situation before. He's been here the longest, so I think we all look up to him, and we know that he is the only senior, and he is the one with the most experience, and we all try to use that to our benefit.
Blake's passion for tennis is in his heart, and has even left marks on his bones.
Yeah, so I had 3 knee surgeries before I got to Florida State. It's like an OCD lesion, so apparently a piece of bone broke off inside my leg. So they had to go in, put some screws into my knee.
He's gone through some serious injuries, but I think what makes him unique is he's always come out on the other side of those injuries, and he's always managed to come back to the team and really be a great player on our team, and has really helped us advance the team, even though he's been fighting through all these injuries.
If you don't love the sport and you don't dream about it all the time, you won't really be able to come back from that.
Over the summer of 2012, Blake was ready to step back out onto the court, but he found out he had to put his racket down for fall and possibly for the rest of his career.
I had back surgery on my L5 disc in my back. I had a really severe herniation there, and so I had to take care of that. It was a tough road coming back, but I was able to get it done. There was a period where, I didn't know if I'd be able to come back after my 4th surgery, or if I was able to come back, if I didn't know if I'd be good enough at the sport anymore to contribute to the team. When you're sitting up in the stands watching your teammates, you want them to do well, but it sucks because you're not out there at the same time. You kind of get that feeling like, man, there's nothing more that I'd rather be doing than playing on the court. I met with the coaches, met with my team. There was talks about possibly medically disqualifying for the rest of my career. So it was a long process, met with my family, but eventually we came out. I wanted to give it another shot. I thought I still had some gas left in the tank to give to the team. And
a lot of people would have given up after that, but he had his ambitions and the goals that he wanted to do, and so that's now what he's trying to accomplish.
There's some points where you can just see he's just not feeling right. And I think it's really amazing how he never lets it affect his tennis, even though I know he's in pain. He masked it really well, and he's learned to fight through it.
With his back and knee healed and his pain under control, Blake is ready to serve up his best performance yet.
I think one of our goals is to be an All-American, which we just missed last year, and maybe even take it a step further and win the NCAA tournament, which would be really cool.
We expect for him to give everything he has. We know it's his last year of tennis, and he knows it's his last year of tennis, and he's told us that he's going to give everything he has and leave it all out on the court.
Tennis is Blake's passion, but the senior knows there's life after sports.
I recently got a job with Wells Fargo out in LA in their investment banking branch, so really looking forward to that. That'll start in June of next year. It's amazing. You can kind of relax, focus on tennis in school, and let it take care of itself.
I wasn't surprised at all. Blake's been someone that's really worked hard for everything he has, and I knew he'd work hard for the job, and we all knew he was going to get it. That's really going to help his tennis as well, knowing that he has something there for him when he's done with the sport, and he's really excited, and we're all excited for him.
He showed right away that he had the ability both on the tennis and the non-tennis side, and he's very driven and wants to be successful.
Blake's ambition and love for the game has taken him to great heights and helping him in his struggles, something he will look back to help him have a successful future in LA. I'm Erin Lish for Seminole Sports Magazine.
Blake is the only senior on this year's FSU team and serves as one of the captains. He's healthier and more determined than ever to take his team to the top in his final year at Florida State. You're watching Seminole Sports Magazine.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coke taste and 0 calories.
Sammy Smith was one of the most highly recruited players ever when he chose to come to Florida State in the mid-'80s. The talented running back attracted one of FSU's top recruiting classes, and those teams set the stage for the dynasty years of FSU football. Smith's efforts landed him in FSU's Athletics Hall of Fame earlier this fall. Let's learn more about him in this report.
Sammy Smith's journey has been a remarkable one. The highly recruited running back out of Apopka High in Zellwood, Florida, possessed the size and speed that every top college program desired. While in high school, Sammy ran track, played basketball, and football. He was named a USA Today All-American and named All-State in football. He also won the 4A state champion 100-meter and 200-meter sprints. When Smith joined the Seminoles in 1986, it was the year that kicked off the unprecedented 14-year run of top 5 rankings and 2 national champions. The team finished 11-1 in both Sammy's sophomore and junior seasons. His teammates were recognizable names like Dexter Carter, Lawrence Dawsey, Odell Higgins, Leroy Butler, and Deion Sanders, all under the direction of legendary head coach Bobby Bowden. As a redshirt freshman, Smith rushed for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns to earn the All-American Bowl MVP award. He had a record-setting sophomore season, rushing for a then-school record over 1,200 yards, which stood until Warwick Dunn broke it 12 years later. While he missed several games due to injury his junior year, the 6'2" tailback rebounded in time for the 1989 Sugar Bowl, where he rushed for 115 yards on 24 carries to secure a 13-7 victory over SEC champion Auburn. He finished his FSU career as the school's 3rd all-time leading rusher to ever wear the garnet and gold. But lighting up the football field wasn't Smith's only talent. He was a 2-sport athlete that split his spring between the football practice field and Mike Long track. He won the Metro Conference 100 and 200 meter titles and also ran on the Metro Championship 400 relay team. Sammy credits 4 men in his life while at FSU who all helped him become a success: Bobby Bowden, Jim Gladden, Billy Sexton, and Dick Roberts. He says these men taught him how to get up when you get knocked down and showed true friendship off the field and track when he needed it the most. He also cherishes his friendships that he made in the backfield, like Victor Floyd, Keith Ross, and Dane Williams, who continues to support his work today. Smith was drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the 1st round of the 1989 draft, the 9th overall pick. He played 3 seasons with the Dolphins under coach Don Shula and with quarterback Dan Marino. He later went on to play for the Denver Broncos with coach Dan Reeves and quarterback John Elway. After rushing over 1,800 yards in his career and scoring 16 touchdowns, Smith's NFL career ended after he was injured, and he retired from the game he loved. Sammy's remarkable journey has led him to today, where he is happiest talking of his ministry and opportunities to make a difference in a young person's life. He is on staff with a Fellowship of Christian Athletes in the Lake County area and uses his position to talk to students about playing the game they love and the opportunity that he had to play for one of the best who ever coached the game. In 2011, he was the keynote speaker at the Capital One Bowl in Orlando and later spoke to the Georgia football team. Most recently, Smith was the guest speaker at the Orange Bowl kickoff breakfast this past January. Sammy and his wife Shalonda married in 2004, and they live in Mount Dora with their children Krishan, who is 14, and Sanaya, who is 6. He also has a daughter, Janae, who is a graduate of Florida A&M and now a nurse in Orlando.
Once again, it's rewarding to look back at the amazing collegiate careers of our FSU athletes and then to hear how they're giving back to their communities. I'm Rob Wilson, and we'll see you next week right here on Seminole Sports Magazine.